Hello everybody. I know I've been away for a little while, and that's because I've been busy quilting a whole lot. I made my daughter a quilt because she's in swimming lessons now, and she wanted a way to display her swimming badges as she won them, or earned them I should say. So I made her a quilt, and then I got caught up in a quilt project that I was doing, that I started a long time ago, and I just never got to putting together. So I'm dealing with that right now because I made a ton of mistakes. So I have to go back through it and kind of fix it because I'm a heck of a lot better at it now. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. Lately though, I've been working with cup chain in my jewelry, and I thought I have a habit of making a lot of something at one time. So I find myself making a lot of cuffs or regular bracelets or pendants or necklaces and earrings. Those are like the main players in what I make, and I thought, it would be fun to expand my repertoire. So I had these cabs that I made a long time ago, and I thought, and they were on garment leather, and I thought, why not make brooches out of them? So there's a pin back. I encased everything with cup chain, and I can show you on one right here. This is just a cab that I got from Michael's on sale for cheap, and I glued with E6000 some clear cup chain around it and cut the leather. I used ball chain on this one. I'll show you how to do something with ball chain. I've been trying to do this kind of street look. So there's some that have dangles like that. This is a button. So I treated it like a cab, but it's a button, a two-hole button, and I sewed this plastic kind of fun bright pink. I guess they're technically called a monte because it's like a stone that's set, but this is just plastic. And there's the pin back, and I beaded this dangle. I also have, this one is ball chain with a found piece, like a found dangle, and here's just another plastic bead, but it looks really cool. It's got a postage stamp set inside it and brooch on the back, and I've been making this bead filigree all along the edges. So here's another button. So I thought, why not share the knowledge with you guys? This one is really awesome. I found orange cup chain and was like, sweet, there's an orange breast on this bird in my stamp, so that's why this one's orange. So I know that colored cup chain is hard to find. Whenever I find it, I buy like all of it because it's seldom around. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm happy to share with you how to do it yourself. So I'll be back. Alrighty, so I've reconfigured myself here because I was not digging the way I was set up before. So what I've got here is, I'll start with this cab, get out some black Nymo. You can use Fireline if you like. I just happen to have Nymo handy, so I've got one of these awesome packs where you get all the different colors. Anyway, plug. I've got some on my needle anyway. And then pick out your colorway, whatever you want to do. I'm going to use this really cool metallic green that you may or may not be able to see. It is numbered DB413. They are Miyuki's from Red Panda. I got it in the Monday mix, the emerald, I think, Monday mix, or no, not emerald, green tea, and some copper round Tohos. I don't know what the number is for them, but they're awesome. I like them a lot. Green and copper are just so cool together. And for my cinching in, I have some 15s. They're Tohos, and they are transparent rainbow rosalyn. So I've got some of those. And I've got a pin back. These come from Michael's. Whoops. You can get the longer ones, and they have shorter ones that have 2 holes on the back. And yeah, you just affix them to the back with your glue. And in this case, I found a spare piece of rutilated quartz. My chain didn't quite make the whole circumference here of the cab, so I'm gonna have like an offset dangle, I think. And depending how I feel about it, at the end, I have this peach moonstone. It's wonderful. And I thought I might do a couple of those, just because there's some pinks and yellows and goldy kind of colors in here. I thought that might be really pretty. So, but that's for the end. For now, we shall decide how we want to proceed. You don't have to use rounds if you don't want to. I kind of like I found that a mix works really well. For this one, for example, this button brooch, I used some clear Aurora Borealis 15s coupled with some black round Toho seed beads and some kind of frosted chartreuse cylinders, and that seemed to work okay. I kind of like that. So I just like the visual texture, especially mixing frosts and you know, shiny and opaques and not opaque. So, and this is a bright chartreuse center here. I put centers on these button ones to cover up the holes, so it'll look a little nicer. I glued them and sewed them as well, so they're really secure. So I think that's what I'm going to do here, and I will get set up for that. Alrighty, so I've got a couple of stitches done. What you want to do with your first pass, this takes a few rounds, but what you're doing your first go is basically covering these little bars that are between each of the I don't know what these are called, I guess cups, just so that they're hidden away, plus it gives some security to your chain. So I like to take the seed bead first and then the delica or Toho, whatever, the cylinder, and sandwich it together. So just seed, delica, seed, and that works fine. And then just cut or stitch right through like so and pull. I'm also sandwiching my tail in because to keep the back clean, I knot my Nymo and go through the front and then back up and then do a stitch and then come on over so that you don't have a knot on the back of your work. So I'm going to come up. Ooh, we have some glue here. Come up. If you can, get your tail. If not, oh well, we'll cut it later. Seed, cylinder, seed, through here, and it makes a nice little profile. It kind of makes the, see how it's kind of, if we go like this, it's kind of chunky and piecey looking. Oh, there you go. That's an angle you can understand what I mean. But if you look at where we've stitched, there you go. It's much smoother now, you see? So I think it adds both decoratively and structurally, which is excellent. What more do you want? So seed, delica, seed, and you just do this all the way around until you've covered all of your bars up. And I will be right back when I do that. Hi, I am back. I have added a picot edge around here, which is really, really simple. If you've watched any of my other videos, there's lots of shots of me doing that. You basically start by picking up the same combination we've been using through here. It's a seed, a cylinder, a seed, and then you come back through and then come back up through this last bead here for your first stitch, and then for your second stitch you add a cylinder and a seed and come up through the seed. Cylinder, seed, up, cylinder, seed, up, cylinder, seed, up. And then when you come to the end, the very last one, you just add the cylinder to make the connection between the two last seeds. And then when you're done with that, you come up, you know, catch some leather again, come back up through your first row or first stitching that you did. And for this final wall, if you will, because we're just creating 4 walls around the cups, so the picot is 1 wall, the first stitching that we did provides 2 of the walls, and then we have the 3rd wall, which is what we're going to add now, and I've already started doing that, as you can see. But for the inner wall, I like to add a bit of interest, so instead of creating the same pattern as I did here with three seed beads like I have right here, I like to change it up for up here so that we've got room to cinch in at the end. So that's why I want more cylinders. So just reverse it. So it's cylinder, seed, cylinder this time. And then you go down and through your very first beads. Get underneath your middle bead, your cylinder, from the picot like that, and then just pull and catch a bit of your substrate, come up, and then back through where you just went. So make sure you catch your substrate nicely so that it doesn't just lift off. So cylinder, seed, cylinder, through and under if I can. There we go. Pull. Back up. Cylinder, seed, cylinder, sometimes you gotta lift them up. Sometimes these beads get a little too flat against the side of the cab. There we go. Oop, not through the green, under it. There we go. Some leather, and come back through, and you do this all the way around, and then you will have your finished, you can't see what I'm doing, then you'll have your finished walls, if you will. So it's like making 4 walls around your cups. So I'm going to just go through and finish the last few, and then we will do our final round. We will cinch things in together. I'll be back. Okay, so I finished my round, and I've gone through my beads here and come back up through. There we go. And I'm at the beginning again, and I've got everything all framed, and it looks really cute, I think. And what I think I'm going to do is just go through this copper bead right here. There's 2 stitches, 2 kind of rows right here without the cup in between, because this was the spot where the cup didn't want to, it's like I was 1 cup short, because this was a remnant, this was the last of a chain. So that's where I'm going to put a dangle, I think. I'll make like a jump ring and stuff. So that's why there's 2 rows like this. So I'm going to come up through this other copper right here. And I think I'm going to see how this looks. So I'm going to bring over some 15s. Sorry, they're probably really blurry and hard for you to see, especially because they're such a light color. But these are my Rosalind beads, or Rosalind, or however. So I'm through my copper seed. I'm going to go through the next copper seed, like netting, and see how that wants to cinch. You can see, there it is. I may or may not, no, I don't think I'll keep that. I think what I'll do instead, sometimes that works just fine, other times, these cups on this chain are a little bigger. When you get the smaller ones, it's works out a little differently, but hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna go back through the copper, so I'm coming out of this green. No, that's gonna be ugly. Wait a minute. I swear I know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go through the copper and the green. Take a 15 and go through the whole shebang, the whole 3. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that first way was silly. So, just grab a 15 and go through your top stitch, and you'll have this kind of a little cinched in thing. The other way that I was doing it with just going through these copper ones works real good if you've got smaller cup chain, like this one. These are small, the little cups inside. Can you see? No, you can't. They are, does it even say? No. But they're much smaller than these. So whenever yeah, there you go. You can see the comparison a little, I hope, through the plastic. These are like half the size, and when I use this size, you can do like the netting thing, where you go through your seeds only and put your 15s in between. And that'll cinch up nice, but it doesn't seem to be working with this size. So I'm just gonna put these, lay them right in the middle of the greens cylinders. Yeah, and that completes the row quite nicely, makes it a straighter line. And yeah, so I will be back to finish up. Alrighty, so here is my finished piece. I haven't done anything with the pin yet, but just thought I'd show you how I handled this dangle piece. I made a jump ring out of beads with my the same 15s that I was using in here. And I just went through it a couple of times, and then I wrapped this rutilated quartz that I had in the beginning, and wrapped this peach moonstone and put a few links between them so they will stagger. And then I linked it to the this jump ring, and I think it's really cute. I hope you like it too. I think the colors are very soft and very subtle and very cute. I think it can be worn with a lot of different colors. And in my travels, yeah, I found an example of the netting technique where the count is a little different. On this button cab here is the smaller cup chain that I was showing you through the package before. We have the smaller cups, and this is the example where it actually works to have the 15s between your cylinders. And there you go. Just put a bead, come up, step up through your cylinder and your seed, put on a 15, and just go in a circle, just go around, just go through your 11 seed, add a 15 seed, 15 seed, 15 seed, 15 seed, and you just go around like that, and that cinches in just fine for this sized chain. So that's the end of that. What I was going to quickly do was show you how to deal with another type of cab embellishment, and that is a cab that I've backed with leather as well, but I used ball chain instead of cup chain because I thought, hey, that's really cool, why not? So what I did was I bought the cup chain, ball chain, from Michael's. It came in different colors in a little package, and I just figured out the length minus the connector and stuck it down. The reason I wanted a connector is because I wanted to add this as a dangle. It's vintage plastic drop with citrine rondelles that I wrapped with some half-hard silver a long time ago. I've had this dangle forever, so I want to kind of use it because it coordinates quite nicely with the, this cab is full of, you can't see, focus, down in front, there we go. This cab is made with, I just cut leftover pieces of postage stamps, and it turned out that there was a lot of white from the borders, blue and green, and the shapes kind of turned out in that kind of 60s, 50s, 60s, mid-century kind of way with the angles and stuff. So I thought this plastic bead is from that era as well. So I thought, oh, well, that goes well together, just the shape and the colors, but I wanted something a little more modern for it. So hence the ball chain and this approach. So having one of these links here, I can show you on the other finished one, leaves you space for, it's like a bail. If you wanted to, you could use it for a pendant like this if you felt like it. That's totally a doable proposition. But in this case I used it as the bottom for my dangle here. So I just put a jump ring there, strung on a bead, another jump ring for a bit of space, and then I put this dangle plastic, red plastic, looks like a ruby but it's plastic, and connected it to this jump ring. So it's a little bit of fun. And I thought I would do the same thing here, just use a jump ring and connect the two together, and it would be really, really nice together. So to do this type of a pattern, all I did was, because the ball chain is significantly smaller, so what I figured all I needed to do is that first stitch where you go loop, 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 and it'll go over the little bar here between each of the balls in the chain. Then I did a picot edge, just like the other one I showed you, and instead of doing another row on the inside, I didn't bother, because the chain is so small it will get lost in the composition. You wouldn't even know it was there. I mean, it's already pretty hidden, so that's why I stopped, because I thought, nah, there's just no point in showing that or doing that extra step when the beads, the 11s, sit just nice and flat on the cab as it is. So why fix it if it isn't Baroque? So that's what I'm going to do with this guy. I've got my beads. I'm going to make it and add the dangle, and then we can put our pin backs on and we will be done. So I'll be right back. Good morning. My shooting time got kind of cut off yesterday, so I didn't have a chance to officially finish this video, but what I did, I left off at this point yesterday. What I did, instead of, where's my other one? Instead of doing the picot edge with the this stitch and the picot on this brooch, I decided to do it a little differently to kind of show off the gunmetal ball chain a little better. So I chose two matte colors that kind of reminded me of this mid-century kind of color palette that we're going for here. So I picked their Toho Treasures. These are a frosted blue, like a teal, I should say, cylinder bead. I don't have the original tube anymore, so I don't know what number it is, but it's a pretty color. And these are also Toho's. They are matte as well. They're seed beads though, regular seed beads in like an olive drab kind of color. They're really cool. I really like them together. So all I did was, if any of you sew like with fabric, you'll be able to do this no problem at all. It's a whip stitch. So I just started the way I started with this one, made my knot in the front and came back up and picked up a cylinder, a seed, and a cylinder, and I just whipped around. Hopefully you can see my stitching. There you go. You can see I just picked up the 3 beads and then went on an angle up here, caught some leather. I'm sorry, I'm holding that the wrong spot. So I caught some leather right here, came up between the next 2 balls, and then added the same combination of beads, did the same thing, came up through the next spot, added 3 beads, came up, do-do-do-do-do-do, lather, rinse, repeat, and my last stitches are at the connector here, and that's where I stopped. It's not necessary to add more here, plus it's extra bulk for your dangle. Your dangle won't want to move and sit properly, so just stop your beading there. I find that to be the best, and it looks a little different than this one. Let me just focus properly here. See, this one's a little more ornate, and you see less ball chain, so that may or may not be something you want. This one, the beading is kind of set back a little bit from the ball chain, so you do see it a lot more, which is also cool with me. I like that. And all I did was I took a jump ring, big enough to go around the connector, so you'll need a bigger jump ring. They're probably 4 millimeters to their outer diameter, probably, and just one link from a spool of chain that I had, so that my dangle would hang the way I want it to hang. And then to apply the pin backs, all I did was I took a piece of like an old head pin. I don't know where it is now. But anyway, I took some E6000 and a head pin, and I just glued everything down. And I will go over everything again with some stitching, just so that it's extra secure. But I mean, as you know, E6000 is pretty incredibly good glue, so that's an optional step, I think. But if you are planning to sell anything like this, whenever I make an item to sell, I always try and make things as secure as possible, because people can find ways of breaking things that you didn't think of. So yeah, do take all those extra measures just in case, because you really don't want your things to break. That would be a real shame. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I've enjoyed coming up with this sort of technique, or, well, not really technique, but new angle on setting your cabs. And I am working on more stuff, so I'm hoping to be back in the very near future. Of course, I'm going to be quilting forever now because I have so many projects, but I am always working with beadwork. It keeps my mind sane after all that crazy piecing and seam allowances and stuff. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you like my videos and you like, you know, what I do, that's awesome. Go visit my Etsy store, where I have mostly the things that you see in my videos tend to show up in the Etsy store. So if you see something I'm working on that you like, chances are pretty darn good that it's going to be up for sale. So do go there and, you know, like the store, follow me on Facebook. I have a pretty active Facebook page. And I always have coupon codes and, you know, stuff going on the Facebook page, so do check there. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, I'm at QueenBeeJewels is my username, so you can search that and find me. And yeah, we'll be in touch, and I will definitely see you very soon with some new stuff that I've gotten in, new supplies. So I will see you very soon. Have a great day or a great week, and I will be back hopefully in the next week or so with something new for you. Bye-bye!